Okay, so today's day we're getting started on your essay. Okay, over the Hobbit. Remember the whole point of this was to get so that you guys are doing something just beyond, simply remembering, which is what you do for the AR tests. The idea is that this is actually getting you into analysis. Okay, so text analysis. A couple of the key verbs here are compare and contrast. Compare and contrast essays are pretty standard. Okay, they're what you're going to encounter them over and over and over throughout your academic life. English essays, history, even in science classes, you're going to get compare and contrast things. So what you're going to get is and we've already done one of these with Gollum and Bilbo. Okay, if you remember. So, this is the comparison table. This is just for note taking to help you make your essay writing better. Okay. So, just to go over this, your concepts are going to be 2 characters. Okay. And I'm going to give you a couple of pairings, actually 3. 3 pairings that you get to choose from. Your overall concept on this one is going to be virtue and vice, which is the theme that we've been looking at as we've been reading this. So you want to do it in this order. So that each character that you're going to be comparing, your overall concept of virtue and vice. Then for each character, you write down characteristics. And when you write down your characteristics, you really want to make sure you're putting down page numbers from your book. That way you know specifically where you're looking. That way when you write your essay, you've got evidence from the text. That's going to be the real key. You have to draw on your evidence in order to write a good essay. Then after you've done that, you're going to go through these lists of characteristics. The ones that are similar, go here. The ones where you've got real differences, go here. Okay, so boxes 4 and 6. The ones that are similar, put them into categories. So, for example, maybe you find that 2 characters show courage. You might call courage a virtue, okay? Or maybe you find that the 2 characters are greedy, okay? Greed would be a vice that they have in common. Okay, so these become those kinds of things, broader categories. Your summary, take all of this information and basically summarize it in a single sentence. So that's the 8. Then you get to 9, which is extensions. This is where you actually move from your analysis to either an evaluation, where you might be delving into why would Tolkien set up characters in this fashion? Or maybe you're going into, is it effective to have these contrasting characters? Or you can go to apply. You can even move down for extensions to apply to basically say, what do you learn? Kind of the moral of the story kind of stuff, okay? Now here's what doing this does for you in terms of essay writing. Your body of the essay is basically right here. These 2 boxes. These notes tell you what goes into the body of your essay. So, like paragraph 1, paragraph 2, your conclusion is basically your summary plus these 2 boxes and maybe this. Okay, then you go back and you write your introduction, right? Which is basically ends up being your summary and these 3 boxes. Okay, so this actually will make writing your essay really easy. That's why we're doing it. Okay. Any questions so far?
Which one's summary again?
Your
Which boxes?
It's nine is sort of like, okay, here's your summary. It's the difference between, this is, okay, what happened, this is so what, is another way of putting it. All right, so what happens, so what, why does it matter? Okay, that's an easy way to think of it. Okay. Any other questions about how to use this? All right, so your prompt is to write a comparison and contrast essay. Okay. And you're going to compare and contrast on the basis of the theme of virtue and vice, using evidence from the text. Okay. All right, so you're going to select a pair of characters compare and contrast them using evidence from the text. Never claimed to have good handwriting. On the theme that we've been looking at of virtue and vice. If you can't remember what virtue and vice are again, which you should be able to by this point, we've been looking at it long enough. We've got dictionaries readily available in the room. Okay, so here are the pairings. Okay, we've got Elrond and Thranduil. You guys remember who Thranduil is?
Yeah.
Who?
He's the elven king.
What?
The elven king?
Yeah, he's the king of the Wood Elves. Elrond is the master of Rivendell. He's basically an elf as well. Okay, so Elrond and Thranduil. Beorn.
He's the person that turned into a bear.
Right, he's the bear guy. And the master of Lake Town.
He doesn't have a name.
No, Tolkien never names him.
He's the master.
So he's the master of Lake Town. So Elrond, Thranduil, Beorn is the master of Lake Town, and Thorin and Barn. Okay, each of those character pairings have certain things in common. They have certain similarities. And they have certain things where they contrast with each other. Okay, just like we did when we did the sort of practice run using Gollum and Bilbo. Okay, so that's your assignment. So first thing I would do before you start writing is start some note taking using the book. There are a few. I've got a few small Post-its that will help you like mark pages and things like that. All right, go ahead and get started.
Somebody wants Post-its. Going once. Going twice.
I'll take them.
Okay.
Wow, you throw like Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow wasn't that bad.
Yeah, he was.
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow. He was a football player.
And now he's a baseball player.
Yeah. He's big. He's strong. He should have been a tight end or a fullback. If he had been willing to play running back, he would have been better off.
Please dismiss the 6th and 8th grade leadership team at this time and meet out in
You
the
can put it
foyer.
up for me.
No,
Please
not.
dismiss the 6th and 8th grade leadership
Bye,
team
Jensen.
at this time and meet out in
Don't
the
leave.
foyer. Thank you.
Yep. I will.
Jensen, remember to do your essay.
Good one.
Tim Tebow could have been you.
Yeah, he could have been. He just wasn't a quarterback.
The Broncos on the Broncos. He was.
Why are we talking about something
No, the
that I
Broncos
barely know
around
about?
him were good. the man just couldn't throw. I mean, he has a lot of arm strength.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you want it in MLA format?
Yes, I do want MLA format.
I already have it in MLA format.
How can you already have it in MLA format when you haven't written it yet? You still gotta do your notes.
Your paper that I've already done.
Oh, okay, I see. So.
No, do you want to look at my paper? No. Do you supposed to put Sherry or Mr. Sherry?
It doesn't matter. I think technically you would probably put Mr. Sherry, but the truth is.
Archie Sherry? Okay, you know what, I'm just gonna.
Personally, I don't care, so if you just put Sherry, that's fine.
Because Archie Sherry is supposed to put Wasser.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, just use Sherry.
It's not mine. Do you want us to put gifted as the subject name? I'm so confused now.
Yeah, or your subject, you could even put The Hobbit. Either way.
I just put gifted.
Yeah, gifted is fine.
You know what?
I'm not quite as concerned about some of those things, but I'm more worried in terms of MLA format, just to make sure you've got your margins set, and when you're doing your text citation, use MLA format. Make sure you've got specific pages that you're using.
No. Wait, was there an option with the compare contrast with Bilbo and somebody?
No, we already did Bilbo and Gollum. So, and since Bilbo is the main character, I decided that we should choose characters that are a little more supportive roles. So yeah, all of these have certain things in common. What's something really obvious that Elrond and Thranduil have in common?
They're leaders.
Okay, they're leaders and they're elves. There are two things right there. How about Bjorn and the Master of Lake Town? Something really obvious.
They're both from what's it called?
They're men. As in, they're not elves, they're not dwarves, they're not hobbits, they're human, more or less.
They're not.
In the case of Bjorn,
Patience.
I have to say more or less. And something else, what's the role that they both play?
Wait, when is this due?
We're gonna make it due probably the start of next week.
So that's the 24th?
Is that right? Yeah, that sounds about right.
23rd? 24th? I'm so confused.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, it's 23rd, or 24th.
Okay, so both Bjorn and the Master of Lake Town, what's their role in the story? When do we encounter them? What's going on with Thorin and company? When they
With Bjorn and like we found him. Well, they're going on like
They're on the journey,
road,
right.
And then they're like, ooh, house, and then
Why do they go there?
because Gandalf.
Well, no, why? What's the
Because
purpose?
they're hungry.
Right, they need supplies, they need food, they need supplies, they need shelter. Why do they go to Lake Town? Why do they talk to the Master of Lake Town? Same reason, right? So both of them, they're seeking hospitality. Thorin and Bard, they're both kind of fighters, warriors, leaders. So there are these sort of commonalities. That's why I chose these pairings. I thought about trying to come up with one with Gandalf, but there really isn't anybody that Gandalf compares in this.
Smog.
No, not really.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Dumbledore.
Wrong book.
I've only read 1, 2, and 3 of Harry Potter.
I've only read the third one.
Oh wow, he hasn't even read the first one.
That's right. When I was in grad school.